dear ones. So we in previous classes we are discussing about the total water content and how it has been distributed on this globe. So 97% of the water is saline water, which has stored in seas, oceans, etc. And only 3% of fresh water we have available on this earth. On that, of that 3% of fresh water, 30%, okay, 30% is groundwater, and other 70% contains, mainly 69% is trapped as ice in the polar regions and as well in the glaciers. Fine. And only the less than 0.49% of water is available, or this is the water, surface water, or the water available in seas, rivers and lakes. Fine. So let's go for today. Let us discuss about the occurrence of groundwater. Of groundwater. Or is also known as vertical distribution of groundwater. So in the exam they may ask, write a note on, right, and they may give an essay type question as give zonal distribution of groundwater. So let us see what is zonal distribution of groundwater. So under the ground, under the subsurface, the groundwater has been divided into three parts. Okay, I'll draw a diagram. It will be more clear for you. So there are three zones. The upper zone is known as Vadose water zone. And this zone is also known as zone of aeration. So this zone extends from the surface, okay, the ground surface, up to the capillary fringe, which is second zone, capillary zone. Okay, this is second zone, and the third zone is known as zone of saturation. Okay, let us discuss one by one. So in Vadose water zone, the upper zone up to 10 meters is known as soil water zone. Okay, this is soil water zone. So this is the zone which is very important for us, because this zone supplies the water which has been which has been demanded by the total vegetative matter of the globe. So why it is important? Because the plants, being the primary producers, okay, or the food factories, whatever the water demanded by them or that plant has been supplied from this soil water zone. And the second one is Vadose water, second part of water, Vadose water zone is known as zone of aeration. So when the rain comes, it infiltrates, okay, part of the rain precipitation infiltrates. Fine. That infiltrated water occurs as thin films around the soil particles or the in crevices of rocks. Fine. But in this zone, it's already, I have told that this is also called as zone of aeration. All the pore spaces are not saturated. In this zone, the crevices and pore spaces are partly filled with water and partly with air. Okay, it's not at all saturated completely. So that's why in this zone the water movement is downward due to the influence of gravity. Okay, due to the influence of gravity, water moves downwards. So second zone is the lower limit of Vadose water zone is known as capillary fringe. Okay, So it's a thin fringe of water in which the water moves upwards due to capillary action. So you know what is capillary action? It's the capacity of water to move up against the influence of gravity in narrow spaces. Okay, so it is due to the properties of water molecule like cohesion, adhesion and surface tension. So in the soil or rocks in which the pore spaces are very small, this capillary fringe may be very wide, and in rocks with very large pores, the capillary zone is very less, maybe less than 0.1 meter. And in clay particles or in clayey rocks, it may extend up to 10 meter also. Fine, this is all about capillary zone. Then let us move towards zone of aeration. So the third zone is zone of saturation. Here all the pore spaces, whatever the pore spaces in this zone, all the crevices of the rocks and fractures of the rocks, the place in between the soil particles have been completely saturated with water molecules. So due to complete saturation of the water molecules in this zone, in all the pore spaces, the downward movement and the capillary action stops, it becomes nil, and the lateral flow of groundwater starts. So it's very clear that here in Wadhw's water zone, the water moves downward. In capillary fringe, water moves upward, whereas in zone of saturation, water moves laterally. Okay, the zone of this lateral movement of water has been controlled by the head of the water or the water table. Fine, the level of water table. Fine. So what we studied today. So let us to sum up. Okay. So there are mainly three zones of groundwater. Okay. And the first zone from the surface to up to capillary fringe, this is Wadhw's water zone, and second one is capillary fringe. Due to capillary action, water moves upwards here, and third zone is known as zone of saturation. Here the particles are partly filled with water and partly air, whereas in zone of saturation all the particles are completely filled with water. And this type of zone of saturation or rock parts are known as aquifers, from which water can be extracted easily and economically. Okay, these are known as aquifers. Fine. So the the highest upper limit of the zone of saturation is known as water table. So water table is subdued form of topography. So it always follows the topography. If the topography is like this, mountainous, okay, the water table is also like this. Fine. This is mirror image of topography. If the topography is flat, the groundwater table or the water table of that area follows like this fashion. It will be in this fashion. And the outcrops of the water table are springs and the beds of the river. Fine. This is all about today's topic, that is occurrence of groundwater. So in coming classes we will study something about the porous nature of the aquifer characters like permeability, porosity, specific yield, specific retention, etc. Okay, fine.